Hi everybody. I'm in the middle of preparing my sermon for this coming Sunday. So this Sunday is going to be our Christmas service, and so I'm going to be speaking from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 2, about when the angel announces Jesus' birth. So I thought it'd be interesting to, maybe just talk a little bit and share you guys how I prepare a sermon in Japanese. I think some people have wondered about that. It's something that's still very tedious and time consuming for me. But kind of this is my process right now. So for starters, I do all of the study and everything in English, and then I actually write out the entire sermon in English. And I try and write it in simple English, and I try and write it, get everything the way I want it. And then from there, I try and translate it into Japanese. Now, I have tried writing it in Japanese first, and I can do it that way. The problem is, because thinking and writing in Japanese is so difficult for me, when I start doing it that way, what comes out is often what is just easier to say. So I'll often just instinctively, either cut points out because I think, oh, this will be too hard to say, or I'll say it in an uninteresting way because that's just the only way I know how to say it. And so, it's too tedious for me to go look up every second, look something up on, how would I say this, how would I say that, while I'm trying to, put together my thoughts and come up with what I need to say. Whereas if I write it in English the way I want it to sound, then I can go back and I can take the time to translate it into Japanese and then, really look up the different words and try and figure out how to say it properly in what I want to say, without, having that out to just kind of cut out that part or something. So it kind of is a little bit more challenging for me, but I think the end result is better. Another way that I've done in the past is to write it in English and then hand it straight over to Tomo and ask her to translate it for me. And I haven't done that in a while, but if I need something done in a hurry and I don't have time to translate it myself, because the writing it in Japanese is actually the longest process, I think. The study and the writing the sermon in English doesn't take as long as it does to take that sermon and then to translate it into Japanese. So I can just hand it to Tomo and ask her to do it, and I'll watch the kids while she spends an hour or two translating it. The challenge with that was that her Japanese is too good. And so what I get back to me is a sermon that is exactly what I wrote, but it's in a level of Japanese that is more advanced than I'm at, and so it's very difficult for me to read it. The words are words that I'm not familiar with. The grammar is more advanced than I normally use, and so for me to then read it takes a lot more practice reading it then, so before I can get to the point where I can read it smoothly. So the process that we've kind of worked out is I'll write it in English, I'll translate it into bad Japanese, I'll give her my bad Japanese, and then rather than her rewriting it, she'll just correct it. She'll fix it. She'll suggest places to improve and different ways of saying things that aren't too difficult for me to handle. And then she'll give me back a manuscript that is in completely understandable, smooth Japanese that is based on what I wrote. So since I wrote it the first time, it's still easier for me to pick that up then and to be able to read it smoothly and to think through it. And I know what it says. It's not like, again, if it was something that she translated herself, I'd probably be every other word. I'd be having to look it up in a dictionary because, she knows more words than I do. Go figure. So this way it works pretty well, and I can read it pretty smoothly. And so then I have to take time to read it through a few times, and then eventually I'll get to the point where I can read it smoothly. And at this point, that's what I have to do is I'll get up when it's time to give the sermon or the message. I'll have to read it from the manuscript. And hopefully as time goes by, I'll get better at that. I'll become less reliant on it. But for now, that's kind of where I'm at. So this week we're going to be looking at the Gospel of Luke, chapter 2, verses 8 through 12. So that's when the angel announces Jesus' birth to the shepherds. I'm going to go ahead and read that from my Japanese Bible here. I haven't practiced reading it, so that's kind of the other thing. Like the biblical Japanese is harder Japanese. It's more literary. There's a lot of words that you don't use in normal conversation. So there's a lot of biblical words that I don't know. And actually, when I'm writing it into Japanese, I almost use the Japanese Bible as a dictionary. Like if I don't know what a word is, that I want to say, I'll go look it up in the Japanese Bible. Like I'll look it up in the English Bible. I'll find a verse that uses that word, and then I'll go look it up in the Japanese Bible, because then I'll know, kind of the more biblical word that is used. Because if I look it up in a regular dictionary, often it will give me a word that might be more like a more common, like a legal term or something, not a theological term, and then people don't know what I'm saying. So the Bible is actually a very helpful dictionary tool in that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and try and read my passage, which where I am right now, I've written the sermon in English, and now I'm just starting to translate it in Japanese. So I haven't spent a lot of time trying to get the smoothness of this down. So this is going to be kind of rough, but some people have been curious to hear what it sounds like when I speak Japanese. So here goes. So this is Luke chapter 2, verses 8 through 12, or ルカの福音書2章8節から12節まで。さてその地方で羊飼いたちが野宿をしながら羊の群れの4番をしていた。すると主の使いが彼らのところに来て、主の栄光が周りを照らしたので、彼らは非常に恐れた。御使いは彼らに言った。恐れることはありません。見なさい。私はこの民全体に与えられる大きな喜びをつけ知らせます。今日ダビデの町であなた方のために救い主がお生まれになりました。この方こそ主キリストです。あなた方は布にくるまって解剖系に寝ている緑子を見つけます。それがあなた方のあなた方のため、それはあなた方のための印です。Sorry, it was extra difficult because I was invaded by two little monsters. Come on over here, Felicity. Yeah, I'm making a video. It's okay. Come say hi real quick. Come say hi real quick. Here, look in the camera.
Light is light. I hate light.
Oh, you hate lights?
So light.
And then oftentimes when I am working on a sermon, I get interrupted and things get difficult, and that will be the end of this video. So, Silas, say bye-bye. Felicity, can you say bye? No, you're not going to say anything. All right, we'll see you guys later.